we're going to start the recording. We're going to welcome you all back to the 1871 season here. It is currently the 26th of May in 1871, and we have the 3-2 New York Mutuals at the 2-1 Chicago White Stockings. This is a big matchup here in the National League. It is three teams at the top of the National League right now, tied on record, and these are two of them. So the lead in the National League is on the line here tonight. The sixth game of the season for the New York Mutuals, just the fourth for the Chicago White Stockings. The season is only 32 games long here in 1871, so we're getting into kind of the end of the early season, beginning of the middle season. Let's go over and ends up just pitching. Yeah, exactly. Maybe a dumb question. What's the habit? That is the time left that we'll be going for tonight. So that big timer is how long stream will last tonight. Not a bad result. Got the hammer. Yeah, honestly, West Ham had a decent point today. They fought very well as well. They were really on top of the game in very long spells. So, I'd never stick to that. I try to, I think it's a good visual cue for the viewer as well, especially when I do the longer weekend streams that are like 9 to 12 hours. It's very good. It's 162 games. It's actually, the first season is 32 games, and I think the second season is 60 games, if I remember correctly. So it expands very rapidly. I think by 1878 or 1879, they're playing like 90 to 92 games a season. So, I agree. Although I like Postacoglu, I think he's taking a poison chalice there, right? By going to the Forest job. Right. Let's go over your starting lineup here for the visiting New York Mutuals. Leading off, I'm going to play some music in my ears so my headphones don't die. Leading off will be second baseman Mike McGarry. He's batting .318 right now, 4 RBIs. Batting second. By the way, just real quick, if you guys see me looking down, I have a scorebook, and every game that we've commentated has been kept score. So if I flip the page, that's one of the previous games we've done. So you're going to see me looking down a lot because we'll be keeping score of the game. Yes, they do become, everybody becomes a different team. Like historically in 1872, which is the second season, the Troy Haymakers fold about halfway through the season. So to simulate that, they moved to Philadelphia and become the Philadelphia White Stockings in 1873 season. So, yeah, they will. The teams are actually going to move around, as well. I have detailed notes on my saves, including online. That's awesome. I love doing that. That's amazing. I have a notepad with my notes in it for my FM saves. Right. So Mike McGarry, second baseman, leads off. Steve Bellin, the third baseman, and bats second. He's batting .318 right now. He's got 6 RBIs as well. Cal McVeigh will bat third. He's the catcher for New York. He's batting .333 with 1 RBI. Henry Burroughs bats fourth, the left fielder. He is currently batting .240. He's got 3 RBIs. Riney Walters, the pitcher, bats in the 5 spot. He's batting .316, 5 RBIs to his name. Art Allison bats 6 for New York. He is the center fielder, 3 RBIs, batting .348. Charlie Pabor is batting 7th. He's the right fielder. He's got .381 and a team leading 9 RBIs on the season. He's up there in terms of the league as well, almost leading the league, I believe, in RBIs as well. Batting 8th is shortstop Pete Donnelly. He's batting .227 with 4 RBIs. And then George Ewell, the first baseman, bats 9th. He's batting .095 with just 1 RBI. He's the only player for New York below the Mendoza line. The lineup for your home Chicago White Stockings. Batting first will be George Bechtel, the left fielder. He is batting .071 with 2 RBIs. Bill Kelly, center fielder, batting second. He's got .214 average with 1 RBI. Levy Mayerly will bat third. He is batting an outstanding .538 with 2 RBIs, 1 home run as well. Gat Stiers bats fourth. The right fielder, also 1 home run and also 12 RBIs. I'm sorry, and 2 RBIs, not 12. Batting .250. I did not have any interest in the Ryder Cup, Cully. I usually do, but I just wasn't, my head wasn't around it this year. I don't know what it is. It's one of those things where, like, it came up so quickly, and I'm like, oh, it's Ryder Cup. And then by the time I remembered it was like Sunday afternoon, and, like, the last 2 or 3 pairings were playing, and I'm like, well, by now, like, you know. But no, I didn't, not this year at least. Mart King bats fifth. He's the catcher. He's batting .143 with 1 RBI. Everett Mills batting .231 with 1 RBI as well. Is batting sixth. He's the first baseman for Cleveland. Batting seventh, Charlie Hodes. He's batting .273, 1 home run, 3 RBIs. Sam Jackson, the second baseman, will bat eighth. He is batting .100. And Cherokee Fisher, the pitcher, batting .417. He's in the 9th spot for Cleveland. Your pitchers, Riney Walters, 3-2 record. He's got a 2.13 ERA and a 1.02 whip. He takes the mound for the New York Mutuals. Cherokee Fisher, 2-1 with a .67 ERA and a .9 whip, takes the mound for Chicago. 1:05 start time, 9:58 in attendance. Clear skies at 60 degrees. For those of you that use centigrade, that would be around 16 degrees. Moss got back to me, said he hoped to be. Oh, good, yeah. I know he came in here 2 weekends ago and said he was doing well. I'm glad he got back to you as well, Cully. It's good to hear him. I know he's going through some stuff, so. But I'm glad that he's genuinely doing all right, man. Thank you for letting me know, man. I appreciate that so much. Because I haven't. I try to make a note, and I'm trying to work on getting better at keeping in touch with people and keeping in contact with people if I don't hear from them. But, you know, you never bat 1,000, do you? You know what I mean? So I appreciate you telling me that about him, man. It's good to know. Right. Mike McGeary, the second baseman, he's due up first. And we are going pitch by pitch. We're going pitch by pitch here. It'll be Cherokee Fisher on the mound, and we are about ready to get underway here. 3-2 New York at 2-1 Chicago. And here's the first pitch coming. That is going to be inside. Ball 1. We are underway here. Here's the 1-0, and that's inside. Ball 2. Yeah, I know. That's the only thing that's not accurate, right, is the stadiums, right? I mean, they're semi-accurate. Like, Veterans Stadium is going to look like Veterans Stadium. Three Rivers Stadium is going to look like Three Rivers Stadium. But in 1871, it's not, do you know what I mean? Like, so. Heard they had to manually paint every pixel in the video. Yeah. Somebody's out there just like popping the pixels off as runs are scored and hits are made. Here's the 2-0 pitch. Dedication. That's lined into right field, and it just lands foul. Hopefully the Mutuals win today. They have a chance. Whoever does win this game has a chance to go top of the National League here right at the end of May. Here's the 2-1 pitch. That is inside. Ball 3. By the way, I have to retest the sound to OOTP because I had it on game capture, and it's not with the new NVIDIA driver update. It's not picked it up on game capture, so I had to swap it over to window capture. But I forgot what decibel setting I had it at in OBS, so I'm gonna be maybe just mixing with the sound a little bit on this stream. Always rated Cherokee Fisher. Here's the 3-1. That's swung on into right field. That's going to be a base hit. And Mike McGeary is aboard with a leadoff single here. Solid stuff from McGeary. He's aboard. Runner on first. Nobody out. Steve Bellin will be up to bat next. 6 RBIs, batting .318 so far this season through 22 at-bats. Through a weekly basis. I think there's 1 week I don't have it on the schedule as well, baseball fan, just because I'm like clogged up with stuff. But there's just too many games I play here, right? So, but yeah, it's going to be probably after this. I run the schedule out through October or the middle of October. I'll probably put it on there weekly. Right. Here's Steve Bellin. First pitch to him. He's going to lay down a sac bunt. Goes over to first. That's in time to get the runner. But the job is done. He's managed to get McGarry over to second. And so it is, what was the put? 3-4 on the put? 3-4 on the put out. And there's one away here in the top of the first. We are from the Union Baseball Grounds here in Chicago. First pitch to Cal McVeigh, who stepped in. That is below for a ball, and it gets by the catcher. It's a passed ball. McGarry will go to third. And that's going to be a runner 90 feet away now with just 1 out. That's fine. Things happen. I think it's F1 for October 20. Yeah, I think so as well. So that's probably going to be the last test stream I do of F1. And either it's going to work then or it's not going to work. And if it doesn't work, then I'll just finish the season off. I'll finish the career mode offline. Right. Cal McVeigh. He's got a 1-0 count, batting .333. Here's the pitch. That's another ball that goes to the backstop. Another error on the catcher. And Mike McGarry comes in from third. And just like that, the New York Mutuals have taken the lead. You've made it to 1897. Nice. Did you see backup QB got jumped and robbed in Dublin? No, I didn't. I did not see that, Cully. No, that's a surprise. Mart King is throwing this. He's fixing. Welcome in, Tubby. Welcome in, Mr. Bojangles. Right, Cal McVeigh still at the plate. The 2-0 pitch. Swung on deep into center field, right at the center fielder, though. And that'll be caught for the second out of the inning. I'll write you guys down in the book in a moment. I have a book. I keep all the viewership, if you guys aren't wondering. So, anytime you guys chat, follow, raid, I write it down so I can thank you at the end of the stream. And if you need baseball fan or interested, I can send you past champions. You don't need to. Don't be like that, Tubby. You got VIP in this channel. Come on, man. Don't be like that. Right. Henry Burrow up to the plate, batting .240. Here's the first pitch to him. That is way high, and that is a ball. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. Does not matter. I write everybody down. Right, here's the 1-0. That swung on grounded foul. 1-1 the count. Here's the 1-1 pitch. Inside 2-1. Tubby, talking to you is what makes streaming fun, man. You know? That's what makes streaming fun, is talking to people like you. So don't ever sell yourself short, man. You bring a lot to me in my streams just by being here, brother. I mean that too. 2-1 pitch is swung on and missed, and it's 2-2. Here's the 2-2 pitch. That's grounded foul, and it will remain 2-2. Counts even 2-2. Here's the pitch. That's off the plate away. 3-2. And now the count is full. Payoff pitch incoming here. That's grounded over to first. It stays fair, and it's taken to the bag, and that will retire the side. U3 on the put out. 1 run on 1 hit. They leave nobody left. We go to the bottom of the first here in Chicago. And New York has jumped out to a 3-0 lead. The ads are going to start in 15 minutes, so I'm going to play a minute ad to lessen the ad timer. And we will be back with more in 60 seconds time. Don't go anywhere. Right, welcome back. They are lurking, and I want to give them a shout out really quickly because they are also somebody who does stream. So let me give them a shout out. They are, if I can spell shout out, of course, they are a FM streamer. We're also going to play Skate together. We've played Peak together. They've played the Battlefield 6 beta. They're an FM player as well. Give them a follow if you haven't already. The great pixelated suits. Here he is playing Skate right now. Nice. Nice. I'm actually looking forward to playing that as well. That's coming up, I believe, on Thursday. So I'm probably going to plug a controller in for that as well in order to play it. So should be good. Right. It's bottom of the first here in Chicago. New York has jumped out to a 1-0 lead. Now we got the Chicago White Stockings at bat, starting with George Bechtel, the left fielder. And here's going to be Bryony Walters taking the mound for New York. First pitch is inside and high. Ball 1. Here's the 1-0. That's low and away. Ball 2. Here comes the 2-0. That is right down the chute for a called strike, and it's 2-1. Yeah, Picks and I support rival MLS sides as well, which is crazy, but I got all the respect in the world for him, man. Here's the 2-1. That's swung on into left field. Right at the left fielder, though, and he will make the play. So F7 on the putout. That is Henry Burroughs with the grab. 1 away here in the bottom of the first. Here's the first pitch now to Bill Kelly, and he check swing. They look at third base, but he did not go according to the third base umpire, and it'll be ball 1. Here's the 1-0. That's below the knees. 2-0 now. Here's the 2-0 pitch. That swung on into left field, and it just drifts foul. 2-1 now. The 2-1 to Bill Kelly. Grounded over towards second base. On to first. That's in time. 2 away here in the bottom of the first. Uh, 4-3 on the put. That'll bring up Levy Mayerly. He is currently batting .538 this season. Big contact hitter. And he's going to come to the plate for his first appearance today. Here's the first pitch. That is well inside. Ball 1. Here's the 1-0. Swung on, grounded over to shortstop. On to first, and that's there in time, and that will retire the side. No runs, no hits, nobody left on base. We go the top of the second, and New York has jumped out to a 1-0 lead. Due up first for the New York Mutuals is pitcher Riney Walters. And he is ready. He settles into the batter's box, and we are ready for the first pitch. Here it is. That is off the plate away. 1-0. And here they are on the New York Mutuals. Well, Betchel's on the Chicago White Stockings, but still. Right. Here's the 1-0. That's grounded over to first. That is a fair ball. And it goes all the way into the outfield. And another leadoff hit. This time going for third. Is he going to get it? Safe. He is safe at third. And Riney Walters, the pitcher, giving himself some support. He's got himself a lead off triple here in the top of the second inning. Nobody out. And a runner 90 feet away now. That brings up Art Allison, the center fielder. He's got three RBIs so far this season, batting .348 through 23 at-bats. Here's the first pitch to him. That is swung on into the outfield. That is going to be deep enough to score Walters. There's the catch. Walters looking to come home. Will he? And I don't think he did. No, the throw was quick enough. It's pinned Walters on third base, and now there's one away. That brings up Charlie Pabor. Or Pabor. Pabor is currently batting .381 so far this season. He has a joint league high 9 RBIs so far this season, and he's got a runner on third with just one out. Here's the first pitch to him. That is away, ball 1. By the way, baseball fan, you're the OOTP player, so I got to ask you. I do not currently have recalc on. Do you think I should turn recalc on? Right, here's the 1-0 pitch. That swung on right at the shortstop for the second out. On to third, and they got him too. He just trotted back. He trotted back to third base instead of running, and they got him on the double play ball. And just like that, the inning is over. No runs on one hit. They leave them empty. We go to the bottom of the second inning. 1-0 New York. Due up first for the Chicago White Stockings is right fielder Gat Stiers. Hang tight one second, actually. I want to drag that over. There we go. No, not recount, recalc. Recalc. It's something that OOTP has that will recalculate a player's career every 5 years. And if they've played well, it'll make it so that they can extend their career longer. It'll change their stats based on how they perform over a 5-year period, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Right now in this save, I have it off, and I think I want to leave it off, in all honesty. I didn't know if you knew if you played with it or you didn't play with it. I know you play the mobile game mostly, but... recalc. Yeah, recalc. Right, bottom of the second, and we've got Hakuna Matata. I did not download the Union app yet. No Hakuna Matata. I did see that they announced it today, though. Right, Gat Stiers is in the batter's box. We are ready to go. Here's the first pitch. That is high. Ball 1. Here's the 1-0. That's lined into left field, and is that going to stay fair? No, it just drifts foul. That was looking really dangerous for a second, but it just landed foul. And so now the count is 1-1. Here's the first pitch. Or here's the 1-1 pitch. That's lined right at the first baseman, but it just falls away from him, foul down that side. 1-2 the pitch. Off the plate inside. And the count is now even at 2-2. Here's the 2-2. That swung on, grounded right over the third base. It gets through. It's a base. Is that going to go down as it does not go down as an error? The scorer said that is a single. It was just hit very hard. And George Ewell reached down to try to make a play, but by the time he got down to try and scoop that up, it had basically went halfway past him and into right field. So Gat Stires is aboard now with nobody out here in the bottom of the second. That brings up Mark King. He is currently batting 143. Retire according to history. You can find it in league settings, I think. Yeah, I know. I have it off right now. I think I'm going to leave it off. Right, here's the first pitch. That is high and away for a ball. Here's the 1-0. That's taken right down the center of the plate for a called strike, and it's 1-1. Here's the 1-1. Check swing, but it's high. Ball 2. Here's the 2-1. That swung on right through the gap into center field. It's another base hit. Mark King only getting a single. Stires can only stop at second, but it's back-to-back singles here for Chicago in the bottom of the second. Nobody on. I'm sorry, nobody out. 2 men on here. That brings up Everett Mills, the first baseman. He is batting .231. Here's the first pitch to him. That is a called strike, and it's 0-1. Here's the 0-1. That's swung on into the center field. It goes right to the center field. It already makes the play for the first out of the inning. Pitch looked like he jammed him. It's not play. No, I mean, if you have just the development engine on, players will eventually decay. I don't think I've changed anything. I just think I just saw that I had it off today, and I was wondering if I should turn it on. But the development engine alone will allow player decay to happen as well. So, right. 2 on, 1 out here. That brings up Charlie Hodes. He's got 3 RBIs, 1 home run in his 11 at-bats so far this season. Here's the first pitch. That is taken for a called strike. It's 0-1. Here's the 0-1. That's off the plate. 1-1. Here's the 1-1. Called strike 2 at the knees, and it's 1-2. 1-2 pitch. Swung on, grounded over to short. On to second, they get the lead runner. No play at first. And Hodes is aboard on a fielder's choice. Stires will go to second. But it is going down as an FC 4-6. That brings up Sam Jackson, second baseman, batting 100. Oh, throw over to first, and he's back in time. Here's the first pitch. Swung on, grounded over to short. On to second in time, and that will retire the side. No runs on 2 hits, and they leave 2 aboard. We go to the top of the third. It is 1-0 New York. The ads are here in 90 seconds, so we're going to be taking a 2-minute break. We'll be back after the ads with more in just 2 minutes' time. Don't go anywhere. Right, welcome back. Top third here in Chicago. And New York Mutuals with a 1-0 lead. It'll be Pete Donnelly up to the plate first this inning for the New York Mutuals. He's batting .227 so far this season in his 22 at-bats. And Cherokee Fisher still on the mound here. Only 21 pitches through the first 2 innings as well. Pretty good stuff. Here's the first pitch from Pete Donnelly. That is going to be grounded. Oh, it's a fielding error on the shortstop, and Pete Donnelly is aboard on an E6. That'll be shortstop Charlie Hodes who gets credited with the error. Welcome in, Mr. Sullivan. Ooh. Really? Really, Cello? Really? I got up to stretch during that that ad break, so I forgot to write down Akuna Matata, who's joined us, and I need to write down now Mr. Cellophane, man. How you doing, by the way, Cello? I hope your Mondays treated you well, my guy. What? I know, right? That's what I'm saying. What? Huh? What? Right. Right. I'm not one for celebrity or celebrity gossip, so I ain't gonna have an opinion on it, and I don't even know who the hell Keith is. Yeah, I don't want to do the historical league modifiers. I just want to know if I should turn recalc on. That's the only thing I'm questioning. I didn't even know she was dating Keith Urban, or married to Keith Urban. Right, George Ewell is up to bat. It's not about the gossip. I get it. I literally pay no attention to it. So this is. I've always thought she was beautiful. Fair enough, man. Fair enough. Right, George Ewell is up to bat. He's batting .095. He is got a runner on first, and Pete Donnelly. Here's the first pitch. That is a check swing over to first in time. And Pete Donnelly is away. That is a 1-3 put out, and it moves Donnelly to second base. I think Keith Urban is a country music singer, I would have thought. I thought he was a country music singer. No, it's all good, baseball fan. Honestly, I'm not worried about it anymore, to be fair to you. I've read enough on it over the last, like, 72 hours. Right. Now back to the top of the order, Mike McGeary, who singled his first at bat. Here's the first pitch to him. Runner on second. That is a called strike on the outside part of the plate. And it's 0-1. I think I know enough to make an educated decision on it. I wanted to see if anyone had a thought about it independently as well. That's all. How you been, though, Cello? How was your Monday, man? I hope it was good. How was any of y'all Mondays, if you want to talk about your day? Go straight ahead, man. I'm interested in hearing about it. Here's the 0-1. That is a called strike. He said he swung. It says called strike on there, but we're going to say he swung. Makes it more immersive that way, and it is 0-2. Here's the 0-2. I slept all day, was working nights. I get that. Yeah. I used to do that, too. I used to come home at, like, 2 in the morning when I was working night shift. I would go to bed around 4. I would sleep into, like, 10:30, 11, you know. Some days I'd sleep until 12, 1 o'clock. 0-2. Here's the pitch. That's outside. Ball 1. Trying to get him to chase something off the plate away, and McGeary has not pulled the trigger on it. Here's the 1-2. Check swing. This time they checked first base, and he said he didn't go. And it is 2-2. Here's the 2-2 pitch. Swung one. That's lined into right field, and it was just drifting foul. Here's the 2-2. Lined just over the shortstop's head. That's a base hit. And Mike McGarry has got back-to-back singles in this game. He's aboard. And Pete Donnelly goes to third. Runners on the corners with one out. Papas Fritas. What's good? How are you? Right. Steve Bellin settles in. He had a sac bunt in his last at bat. Here's the first pitch. He'll be swinging the best time. That is a called strike, and it's 0-1. Here's the 0-1. Swung on into left field. Does it stay fair? No, it's drifted foul. Steve Bellin in a bit of a hole here. It is 0-2. I stopped. I tried my best. If you don't want historical save like randomized, you can turn it off. Yeah, I'll probably keep it on. In honesty, it's just recalc I was worried about. Benny, go. That's up. Right. 0-2 the count. Here's the pitch. That is high. Ball 1. Here's the 1-2 now. Swung on, grounded foul to the backstop. And the count remains 1-2. Here's the pitch. And that's lined up through the gap into center field. And New York has got more runs. Steve Bellin comes through. He's got himself an RBI single. Going to second is McGarry. Scoring on the play is Pete Donnelly. And Steve Bellin has got an RBI single here to extend New York's lead. It is now 2-0 for the Mutuals. Cal McVeigh, the catcher, is up next. He flied out to right field. I'm sorry, he flied out to center field his last at bat. Right. Runners on first and second, one out in here for McVeigh. Here's the first pitch. That is off the plate away. Ball 1. Here's the 1-0 pitch. That is called strike, and it's 1-1. 1-1 pitch to Cal McVeigh. Swung on, grounded over to first. On to second for the first out. Back to first. Safe at first. They could only get the one. They do get the lead runner. Well, not the lead runner, but they do give Steve Bellin. I just called him Bellin. Jesus Christ. Steve Bellin. Cal McVeigh is going to be aboard via a fielder's choice. It's going to be a 3-6 FC. And that'll bring up Henry Burroughs, the left fielder. Right, runners on the corners, 2 outs here. First pitch to Burroughs, that's off the plate away. Ball 1. Here's the 1-0. Swung on and missed, and that's a strike, but the catcher can't get to it, and it's coming in to score is Mike McGarry, safe at home. It's a passed ball, and McGarry scores. McVeigh goes to second. And now it is 3-0 Mutuals. I found one on strategy auto calculations, only available preseason spring training before. Yeah, I'm not going to worry about it anymore. I think I've made the right call by leaving it off. Right, here's Henry. It's the 1-1 count to Henry Burroughs. Here's the pitch. Swung on, that's fouled. Here's the 1-2. Fouled down the third base side. And we remain at 1-2. Here's the pitch. That's grounded right back to the mound. On to first in time, and that will retire the side. So, 2 runs on, no. Yeah, 2 runs on 1 hit. And 2 runs on 2 hits, right? No? E6, a single. Oh, yeah. 2 runs on 2 hits. And they leave 1 aboard. We go to the bottom of the 3rd with the score 3-0 New York. We are going to take a very quick 60-second timeout just to keep that pushed back as much as we can. We're going to take a quick 60-second timeout. We'll be back with more in 60 seconds time. Don't go anywhere. Right, welcome back. Bottom 3rd here in Chicago. New York out to a 3-0 lead. I want to give a special shout out, by the way, to the great Hakuna Matata. Give him a follow if you're not already. He plays Fortnite and he plays, I think, Warzone. Here he is playing Fortnite. He's another Philadelphian like me and another... That's not Fortnite. That's definitely COD. He's a fellow Philadelphian like me, and he's also a fellow son of Ben. So if you're not already following him, give him a follow. It is Hakuna Matata. Right. Oh. All right. So, bottom 3rd here. Chicago need to get back into this game. Down by 3. Still plenty of time, though. Cherokee Fisher will be the leadoff batter for Chicago here in the 3rd. Batting .417 so far through 12 at-bats. Here's the first pitch. That's a called strike on the outside corner. And it is 0-1 to Cherokee Fisher. Here's the 0-1. That's below the knees this time, and it's ball 1. The 1-1 pitch. Swung on, grounded over towards second base. Oh, and the second baseman's flubbed. It's going to be counted as a single because Cherokee Fisher was basically 4/5 of the way down the baseline before that ball even got to the second baseman. So it's a leadoff single here for Cherokee Fisher in the bottom of the 3rd. George Bechtel, the top of the order now. He flied out to left field his first at bat. And here's the first pitch to him. That's low and away, ball 1. It also gets by the catcher. It's a wild pitch, and Cherokee Fisher will take that opportunity to move up to second base. Runner in scoring position now with nobody out. Here's the 1-0. Swung on, grounded over towards the hole. It's really well knocked down. I don't think that's a single because it was hit so hard. But that was really good defense from shortstop Pete Donnelly because that could have been more bases. And George Bechtel only gets a single for that. And so now Bill Kelly will settle into the batter's box. He grounded out his last at bat. And he's got runners on the corners with nobody out now. Big opportunity for Chicago maybe here to get back into this ball game. Here's the first pitch to Kelly. That is a ball. Here's the attempted steal, and they are going to pick him off at second base. Betschel's caught stealing. Cal McVeigh gets the ball over to second base in time. Tough play. That's a tough play for Chicago, yeah. They got maybe a little greedy there. They went for all the marbles. To regret ever rating Cherokee Fisher. To be fair, he got a single. He's on third base. What'd you have for dinner? That's the big question. I had a sausage sandwich, so with some pasta on the side. It was good. Right. Here is the 1-0. That's grounded foul. Here's the 1-1. And that's lined into center field. Base hit. Cherokee Fisher comes in to score. And Bill Kelly has got himself an RBI single here. Chicago get one back. It's 3-1. Grilled cheese, but fancy. Ooh, fancy grilled cheese. Always rated Cherokee Fisher. Nice. Right. Here's the first pitch to now Levy Mayerly, who grounded out his last at bat. That one is off the plate away. Ball one. I guess he's coming. Damn allergies, man. Was just looking through the PlayStation Tour and found a game called oh my God. That's all I have to say to that. I think the only appropriate response to that is, oh my God. Right. Let me get back into the game here. Here's the 1-0 to Levy Mayerly. That is a ball, 2-0. And bless you, thank you. I appreciate that. Right, 2-0 pitch. Swung on into right field, drifting foul, and it will land foul. Here's the 2-1. Swung on into right field, high. Fielder's under it, he'll make the play. So F9 on that put out. And there's two down here in the bottom of the third. That brings up Gat Stiers. He had a single his last at bat. Here's the first pitch. That is a called strike. It's 0-1. Here's the 0-1 pitch. That's off the plate away. 1-1. So I missed some of the title. Online battle, really? Just why? Here's a 1-1. That's grounded to the backstop. And it'll be 1-2 now. 1-2 to Gat Stiers. Swung on, lined into right center field. High enough for the center fielder to play it, and he will make the catch. 1 run on 2 hits, and they leave 1 aboard. We go to the top of the 4th inning here. It is 3-1 New York. Due up first for the New York Mutuals is pitcher Riney Walters. Walters at a triple, his last at bat. Here's the first pitch to him. That's below the knees for a ball, 1-0. Here's the 1-0. Off the plate away. 2-0 now. Here's the 2-0. That's below the knees. Ball 3. And Cherokee Fisher now at risk of walking the opposing pitcher. Here's the 3-0. Taking all the way is Walters, and that'll be a strike, 3-1. Hitters count now, 3-1. Here's the pitch. Grounded to the backstop, but the count goes full. The payoff pitch to Randy Walters. Swung on, and that's grounded to the backstop again. Here's the 3-2. Grounded down to short. On to first, or second baseman, I should say. On to first, and that's in time for the out. 4-3 on the put. And that'll bring up Art Allison, the center fielder. He flied out to right field his first time up. Did Columbia win picks? Here's the first pitch to Art Allison. That's a called strike, 0-1. Here's the 0-1 pitch. Let's go. Let's go. Nicely done. Here's the 0-1. Grounded over to first. That's a fair ball. And it gets by the third baseman going into second. And safe at second base is Art Allison. And he's got himself a double. USA won 9-1. Let's go. Right, that's going to bring up Charlie Pabor. He grounded into a double play, or really lined into a double play his last at bat. Here's the first pitch. That's off the plate away. 1-0. Let's go, Frankie. I love Frankie Westfield. Every time somebody's like, I need a left back in FM, I'm like, Frankie Westfield, go get him. You want to know what the funny thing is? Picks. So Kraha, who is a Polish streamer, did an MLS save, and I, talked him through all the rules, right? And he bought Frankie Westfield because he was looking for a left back. He was at San Diego in his MLS save because it was an updated database. And I said, go get Frankie Westfield. He's a good player. So he bought Frankie Westfield, and he bought Quinn Sullivan, right? Or Kevin Sullivan, I think he bought, right? I told him to buy Quinn, and he bought Kevin. But he did buy Frankie Westfield. He didn't win the MLS Cup with San Diego. He won everything else. I think he did 5 seasons in San Diego. He won the U.S. Open Cup. He won the Supporters Shield. He won the CONCACAF Champions League. But he didn't win the MLS Cup. So they sacked him after 5 seasons. I don't know how you do that. Somebody won the Champions League. But anyway, they did sack him. He went to Spain afterwards, right? In the Spanish second division. And then reached out to San Diego to buy Frankie Westfield. And Frankie wanted to go to Spain. So he moved Frankie into the second division of Spain with him, and then they got promoted. And now Frankie Westfield, in that man's save, Frankie Westfield is with him in La Liga. And I'm like, this is... And then I think he played the Copa del Rey final, and Westfield scored in extra time to put him like 3-2 up, and they won the Copa del Rey. And I'm like, let's go. Yeah. Great streamer, by the way. Tough play for New York Mutual shortstop last inning, especially with no gloves, using your hands to stop and throw the ball. Yeah. With the Duolingo Spanish. He been hitting up those door lessons all like fucking for months, man. I like Frankie Wells. He's a good player. IRL and in FM. Right. 1-0 count here to Charlie Papor. Here's the pitch. That's swung on, grounded foul. Here's the 1-1. That's lined, that's popped up into shallow left, and shortstop Charlie Hodes is there to make the play. And that's 2 away here in the 4th. Thank you. Right. Shortstop Pete Donnelly will set in. He's 0 for 1. He reached via an error his last at bat. Here's the first pitch. That's a called strike. Here's the 0-1. That's a called strike 2. And Pete Donnelly is in a hole here, 0-2. Here's the 0-2 pitch. That's way below the knees, 1-2. I just hydrated. Thank you, Stream Elements. Cheers, baseball fan. Right, here's the 1-2. That's off the plate inside. 2-2. Almost gets by the pitcher. Or, I'm sorry, almost gets by the catcher. But he stopped. I was only testing to see if it works. You can. I took the sips, so I took no. Right, here's the 2-2. Swung on, lined into center field. It's more base hits. Is he going to round third is the question. No, Allison is told to hold at third. And Pete Donnelly's got himself a 2-out single. Now there's runners on the corners with 2 outs here in the top of the 4th. George Ewell, the first baseman, is the next batter up. Ewell batting .095 through 21 at-bats so far this season, just the 2 hits. Here's the first pitch. That is a called strike, and it's 0-1. One of his 2 hits coming with runners in scoring position. That's what we have here. 0-1 count. Swung on, grounded to first. Taking it to the bag himself is first baseman Everett Mills, and that will retire the side. No runs on 2 hits. They leave 2 aboard. We're going to the bottom of the 4th. It's a 3-1 ball game. 2 up first for the Chicago White Stockings will be catcher Mark King, who had a single in his first at-bat. We are going to take a quick 60-second timeout. That should reset that ad timer. We'll be back with more in just a minute's time. Right, we are back. Bottom 4th here in Chicago. 2:04, so we're about to tick over. We're going to press that, so 2:07, so game time currently 1 hour, 2 minutes. And we've got Mark King, who's into the batter's box here, batting 200 so far this season. He's got Riney Walters still on the mound, 42 pitches through the opening 3 innings for Chicago. Or for New York, I should say. And here we go with the first pitch to Mark King. That is below the knees. For a ball, 1-0. Here's the 1-0 pitch. Grounded foul. And the count is now even. I forgot that. I need to do another 1-minute ad to reset that timer, which we'll probably do in the next half inning or inning. Here's the 1-1. That's flied into left field, but it drifts foul. And it will be 1-2 now to Mark King. Here's the pitch, Mark King. Swung on. That's into left field, and that is, it's an error. He had it the whole way. He looked up. He lost it in the sun. And, whoops, I just wrote that under Gad Stiers. Whoops, that's Mark King. E7 is the scoring decision. And that is left fielder Henry Burroughs who gets credited for the error. And aboard is Mark King. Everett Mills is the next batter up. He flat out to center field his last at bat. Here's the first pitch from Riney Walters. That's taken on the inside part of the plate, called strike 1. Here's the 0-1. Swung on, grounded back up through the hole. It's through. It's a base hit. And Chicago have got the first 2 runners aboard here in the bottom of the 4th with nobody out. That brings up Charlie Hodes. He currently has the error for Chicago. He grounded into a fielder's choice his last at bat. Here's the first pitch. That's popped up into left field, but a playable distance, and that's right at the left fielder. This time he makes the play. So Henry Burroughs gets tested again, and this time he comes through with it. 1 away here in the bottom of the 4th. That brings up Sam Jackson. He grounded out his first at bat. Here's the first pitch to Jackson. He's lined that right at the shortstop and on to second for the second out. He's lined into a double play. LDP 6-4. And just like that, that retires the side. No runs on one hit. They leave one on base. We go to the bottom, or we go, to the top of the 5th. And it's still a 3-1 ball game here. Due up first for the New York Mutuals is second baseman Mike McGarry. He is 2 for 2 with both singles. Here's the first pitch to him. That's a called strike, and it's 0-1. The 0-1 pitch. That's lined right back through into center field. And Mike McGarry has got 3 singles in this game. He's 3 for 3. That's going to bring up Steve Bellin, the third baseman. He has a sacrifice bunt and an RBI single. He's 1 for 1. Here's the pitch. He's tried to lay down a bunt, but he pulls it back in time, and it's a ball. Here's the 1-0. Below the knees, 2-0. Here's the 2-0 pitch. He does lay down the bunt this time. Are they going to go to second? No, over to first, and they get the out. So another sac bunt, this time 1-3 on the put out. And McGeary does again go to second base. So carbon copy what they did in the first inning. Cal McVay is the next batter up. He flied out to center field and grounded into a fielder's choice. Here's the first pitch. He's flying that right back through into center field for a base hit. McGarry stops at third. But Cal McVay is on the board here with a single. And runners on the corners, 1 out. Henry Burroughs, the left fielder, is the next man up. He's 0 for 2 with 2 groundouts. Here's the first pitch to him. Swung on, fouled. Here's the 0-1. Inside for a ball. It's gotten by the catcher, and coming home safely is Mike McGarry. He will score his 3rd run of the afternoon. McVay goes to second, and now New York has a 4-1 lead. It was a wild pitch that catcher Mart King had no chance at. Second time that a runner will score on a wild pitch for New York. That's going to bring up it's still 1-1 to Henry Burroughs. Here's the pitch. That's high, ball 2. Here's the 2-1. That's popped up. Shortstop's underneath, it'll make the play. And that will be the second out of the inning. Riney Walters will be the next batter, 1 for 2 with a triple. Welcome in, Dan David. Yeah, I saw. It's a decent point. I thought they played well. I'll take it, certainly. Especially being down 1-0, you know, away, and you get a point. I'll take it. Here's the first pitch to Walters. And that's below the knees for a ball. Here's the 1-0. Below the knees again. 2-0. Here's the 2-0. That is taken for a strike on the outside part of the plate. 2-1 to count now. Here's the pitch. Inside, ball 3. And Riney Walters has a hitter's count now, 3-1. Here's the pitch. Ball 4. He draws the walk. And he's aboard. Is he retiring, baseball fan, as well? Here's Art Allison, the center fielder. 1 for 2 with a double. Here's the first pitch. That's fouled. Sorry. Here's the 0-1. It's a check swing. He didn't go. The catcher didn't stop it. And so it goes to the backstop. McVay goes to second. McVay goes to third. Riney Walters goes to second. It is 1-1. Here's the pitch. That's fouled. My allergies are killing me tonight. Right. Here's the 1-2. That's popped up in the infield. Shortstop over. He'll make the play. And that will retire the side. 1 run on 2 hits, and they leave 2 aboard. We go to the bottom of the 5th. It's 4-1 New York. Due up first for the Chicago White Stockings is pitcher Cherokee Fisher. He's 1 for 1 so far with a single. We are going to take a quick 60-second timeout. That will definitely reset that ad timer. We will be back with more in 60 seconds time. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. All right, welcome back. Bottom 5th here in Chicago. Here's the first pitch. That is a called strike. It's 0-1. Pitcher Cherokee Fisher is at the plate. Singled his last at bat. But didn't happen. Gotcha. I mean, he's 70. He might still manage, but you got to think if he did, his next job would probably be his last one, right? Right. Here's the 0-1. Swung on and missed. And it's 0-2. Here's the 0-2. That's high and away. Ball 1. Here's the 1-2. Inside, ball 2. And the count's been run even now. Here's the 2-2 pitch. And he's popped it up. And over there to make the play is shortstop Charlie Hodes. And that, I'm sorry, not Charlie Hodes, is shortstop Pete Donnelly. And that'll go down as a P6. As Fisher's retired. That'll bring up George Bechtel. 1 for 2 with a single. Here's the first pitch to Bechtel. Off the plate inside, 1-0. It's not Gimbo. It's Gimpo with a P. But I don't think he's a footy manager, man. We'll see. Anyway, here's the 1-0. I did hear about Quinn, yeah, unfortunately. That's off the plate inside, 2-0. I have to remind myself when we come back from the ads, whether that's the next half inning or the half inning after that, to give a shout out. I got 2 other people I'd like to shout out on tonight's stream, by the way, so. Honestly, I'm gutted he's going to be out the whole season. You know, and the playoffs as well. Like, that's just awful. Yeah, all good, baseball fan. Here's the 2-0. That's grounded over to short. And plenty of time. He makes it a little bit more difficult to throw than it needs to be, but he gets it over there in time anyway. 4-3 on the putout, and Bechtel was retired. That brings up Bill Kelly. He is 0 for 1. I'm sorry, he's 1 for 2 with an RBI single. Here's the first pitch. That's high, ball 1. Here's the 1-0 pitch. Below the knees, 2-0. Here's the 2-0 pitch. Swung on, grounded over to second base. That's a really erratic throw. That's going to go way. He's got to be careful. Is this going to be a second base? He does. He does get second. So it's going to be an E4. He just didn't take his time to settle that, and it was a really erratic throw. So Kelly gets the second on an E4. Ekakia, I love Ekakia. Ekakia is a Congolese guy I found. And I think I got him on a free. If I didn't get him on a free, I got him cheap. He was like 14,000, I think. And he's played all 7 seasons with me, I want to say. And he's been, or at least 6 seasons with me. And he's played like over 200 games for the club. He's been at Gimpo so long. He got Korean citizenship. And he doesn't even count as an international anymore, which is awesome. Because you're only allowed a certain number of internationals. So, yeah, I love Ekakia, man. Right. Here's Cal McVeigh. He's the next batter up. McVeigh with, I'm sorry, what am I saying, McVeigh? Why did I look at McVeigh over on the wrong? I'm looking at the wrong side. It is Levy Mayerly. He's grounded out, flied out, 0 for 2. Here's the pitch. That's grounded over to third baseman. On to first in plenty of time, and that is going to retire the side. 5-3 on the putouts. No runs, no hits, and they leave one aboard. We go to the top of the 6th. It's still a 4-1 ball game. New York. This game official now. Charlie Padmore will be due up first for the New York Mutuals. He is 0 for 2. He lined into a double play and he popped up. He's still a stud after 6, 7 seasons. Yeah. He actually was never in consideration for the Congolese national team. And he's played with us so long and he's developed so well that they started calling him up to the national team, which is really good. So now he plays for Democratic Republic of the Congo as well. Right, here's Pabor. Cherokee Fisher still on the mound. 80 pitches through the first 5 for Fisher. Here's the first pitch to Pabor, and check swing, but he didn't go, and that is off the plate away for a ball. Here's the 1-0. Swung on and missed, and it's 0-1. It's 1-1. Here's the 1-1 pitch. That's off the plate away, 2-1. Here's the 2-1 pitch. That's lined into center field. Right at the center field. He comes in, he makes the catch. It's a diving play. But what a play from Art Allison. He dove. I'm sorry, not Art Allison. From Bill Kelly. He dove and he made the play. And Charlie Pavor is retired. That brings up Pete Donnelly, the shortstop, 1 for 2 so far. Here's the first pitch to Donnelly. That is high for a ball. That looked like an Ephus pitch for a second. That was high for a ball, 1-0. Here's the 1-0. That is lined over into the gap between third and short. And Charlie Papor has got himself the second base hit of the night for him. He's on to first. First baseman George Ewell is due up now. He is 0 for 2. 2 ground outs. Runner on first. 1 down. Here's the pitch. That is high and away. Ball 1. There's the 1-0 pitch. Oh, it's a passed ball. It's another ball that gets by the catcher, Mark King. And Donnelly goes to second. Here's the 2-0. Swung on and missed. Oh, no, I'm sorry. That's not swung. He's grounded it. I thought he swung on and missed. He grounded it right up to the mound. The catcher will make the play. And that is a 2-3 putout. Pete Donnelly does get to third base, but now there's 2 outs. You know what it is? OOTP does this sometimes with the audio, I've noticed. I alt-tab a lot because I'm a single monitor streamer and I've got to run, I'm trying to run the ads in between the innings and manage everything. And sometimes when I alt-tab in, I get the crowd like you hear in the very subtle background right now. And when I get them constantly in the ear, I don't get the bat sounds, and I don't know why. It's just an OOTP bug. All right, that brings up Mike McGeary, the second baseman. McGeary is 3 for 3 today with 3 singles. Here's the first pitch. He's popped it up in the infield. And making the play is Charlie Hodes, and McGeary is retired, and so is the side. No runs on 1 hit. They leave 1 aboard. We go to the bottom of the 6th. It is a 4-1 ball game here. 2 up first for the Chicago White Stockings. Right fielder Gat Stiers, who is 1 for 2 so far today. Here's the first pitch from Walters to Stiers, and that's off the plate away. Ball 1. Here's the 1-0 pitch. Swung on into right field, but it drifts, or into left field, sorry, but it drifts foul. I know my left from right, believe it or not. Here's the 1-1. That's grounded to the backstop, and it'll go to 1-2. Here's the 1-2 pitch. That's grounded right at second baseman. It's through his legs. And it's an error in the outfield as well. No Angels here. The scoring decision is that it is hit hard enough to be considered a single. And then there is an E7, an E8 in the outfield. That's Art Allison that makes the error. And then it is Stiers will get the second off the back of that. I'm sorry. I wrote him in the wrong inning. Right, Stiers over to second. Right, that brings up Mark King, the catcher, 1 for 2 so far today. Here's the first pitch to King. That's high for a ball. Here's the 1-0. Inside ball 2. Going to steal third is Gat Stiers, and he has got it. He's got a stolen base. Stiers is now 90 feet away. Nobody out here for Chicago. Maybe a chance to scratch across another run here to get back into this ball game. Here's the 2-0. High, 3-0. And now here's the pitch. Taking all the way is King. 3-1 pitch. Called strike on the upper inside part of the plate. And now the count is run full, 3-2. Here's the payoff pitch. Swung on, lined into right field, and it just goes foul. Here's the payoff pitch. Lined into center field, right at the center fielder who makes the play. It was too shallow for Stiers, who is a good runner, to tag up. That's one away. He remains on third. Everett Mills is due up next. He is 1 for 2. Here's the first pitch to him. That is a ball off the inside part of the plate. 1-0. 1-0. Off the plate away. It's a pass ball. It's going to be a pass ball to White. It's a passed ball. And coming in to score is Gat Stiers. He's safe at home. And they have Chicago have scratched across another run. 4-2 now. What's up, Deco? How you doing, man? Hope you're doing well, man. Welcome in. Right, here's the 2-0. Called strike, and it's 2-1. Hyped for playoffs tomorrow. Let's go. Let's go. Yeah, it's going to be exciting, isn't it? What series are you most looking forward to watching? I am really interested in the Reds-Dodgers series, quite frankly, because I think the Reds can take them. I think the Reds are playing such good ball right now, and I feel like the Dodgers are definitely there to be beat. So I think Reds-Dodgers is going to be good. Right. Here's the pitch. That's lined into left field. It's going back there. Right there to make the play is the left fielder. And that'll be the second out of the inning. That is going to bring up Charlie Hodes, who's 0 for 2. Here's the first pitch. He's popped it up in foul territory, but into the screens. 0-1. Here's the 0-1 pitch. Foul to the backstop. 0-2 now for Hodes. Here's the pitch. That's below the knees for a ball. 1-2. Here's the 1-2 pitch. That's lined into right field, but it comes and drifts foul of the line. Here's the 1-2. That's inside. Ball 2. And here's the 2-2 pitch. That's lined into center field. Base hit. Charlie Hodes is aboard. He's got himself a single here. And Chicago not done with this inning yet. They got a man aboard. Both having Brewers taking the World Series. I'm definitely more interested in the Padres-Cubs game, to be honest. Fair enough. That brings up Sam Jackson. 0 for 2 so far today. Here's the first pitch. Throw over to first, and it is back in time. Here's the pitch. That's high for a ball. 1-0. Here's the 1-0. That's a called strike. 1-1. Here's the 1-1 pitch. Lined into right field. Is that going to stay fair? No. Goes foul. Boston versus Brewers would be magic. I just want the Phillies to do it this year, man. I want the Phillies to do it this year. Here's the 1-2. Check swing. Did he go? No, says the first base umpire. And he stays alive. Here's the 2-2. Swung on, foul. I understand the biases. I mean, you want to see your team win, right? It's like, it's not even biases. You just want to see your team win, right? It's not. There's not really anything biased about that, you know? But I'll tell you what. If the Phillies don't win, the only team in the National League I really would want to see win. I mean, I'd be okay with the Reds, and I'd be okay with the Brewers. I really would like the Brewers. Couple reasons. One, because I don't mind Milwaukee. Two, because it's been so long. And three, because they still have Rhys Hoskins, I think, right? And, you know, him getting a World Series win would be okay if the Phillies, with me, if the Phillies couldn't do it. It's not really anyone in the AL I'm interested in winning except for Toronto, to be honest with you. Maybe Seattle as well. But, right, here's the 2-2. That is below the knees. 3-2. Full count. Here's the pitch. That's fouled. Runner will be going. Here's the pitch. Oh, throw over to first, and he's back in time. Here's the pitch. Grounded over to third. On to first, in time. And that is going to retire the side. 5-3 on the put. No run. No, one run on 2 hits. They leave one aboard. We go to the top of the 7th inning, and it's a 4-2 ball game. Due up first for the New York Mutuals is third baseman Steve Bellin, who is 1 for 3 so far. I'm sorry, 1 for 1 with 2 sack bunts. Party like it's 1982, and Reese is a great guy for real. He gave some Pokemon cards to the Miz, and he packed a Charizard. That's sick, actually. Yeah, I like Reese a lot. I kind of miss him in Philly. Right. We're going to make it a 90-second timeout just so we can catch up with that guy a little bit. But, yeah, we'll be back with more in 90 seconds time. Don't go anywhere. Right, we are back. It is the 7th inning here in Chicago. It's gone 2:54 p.m. in the game. It is hour 49-minute game time. And we got Steve Bellin up to the plate first. Before we go anywhere, This 7th inning brought to you by Mr. Cellophane. He's an FM streamer. Here he is playing FM 23. But he's an FM streamer. He had a great build donation in Croatia. And he's going to be coming back for FM 26. So if you're not already following him, give him a follow. It's the great Mr. Cellophane. Defensive defense. There you go. As long as you beat the Yankees, I could care less. Yeah, that's fair. Everybody doesn't. The only person that wants the Yankees to win is probably Picks. And understandable, because they're his team. Right, Steve Bellin coming in to the plate. Start off this 7th inning. Here's the first pitch. High and in for a ball, 1-0. Here's the 1-0. That's a called strike. It's 1-1. I would not like to see the Yankees make it to the World Series, to be honest with you. Here's the first. Here's the 1-1. That is chop foul down the third base side. Here's the 1-2. That's almost into the dirt, and it's 2-2. Yeah, he is. I love Picks. Here's a 2-2 pitch. Swung on, grounded right over. Oh, he's flubbed it. He's flubbed it. It's an error. It's an E6. It's an error on the shortstop. That shortstop being Charlie Hodes, who makes his second error of the afternoon. And Steve Bellin gets aboard as a base runner here in the top of the 7th. That will bring up Cal McVeigh, who was 1 for 3 so far today. Here's the first pitch to him. That's inside, ball 1. The 1-0. Fouled down the third base side. Here's the 1-1. That's in the dirt. Ball 2. Here's the 2-1 pitch. Inside, ball 2. That was a called strike. It's 2-2. And the 2-2 pitch. The 100th for Cherokee Fisher. This is grounded over to short. They're going to get the lead runner at first. No play, or the lead runner at second. No play at first. And Cal McVeigh, for the second time this game, has grounded into a fielder's choice. 6-4 this time, as Bellin will sit down. Right, that brings up Henry Burroughs. He's 0 for 3 so far today. Here's the first pitch. That's a strike. The attempted steal at second base, and he is safe at second base. Cal McVeigh steals second. And it's here's the 0-1 pitch. Swung on, grounded over to second base. On to first in time for out number 2. 4-3 on the put. That moves McVeigh to third, but now there's 2 outs here in the top of the 7th. That's going to bring up Riney Walters, the pitcher. He is 1 for 2 with a triple and a walk. Here's the first pitch. That's inside for a ball. Here's the 1-0. That's below the knees. 2-0. Here's the 2-0 pitch. called strike. 2-1. Here's the 2-1 pitch. Off the plate away. 3-1 now. 3-1 the pitch. Hitters count to Riney Walters. And he takes strike 2. And now the count is going full. 3-2. Here's the payoff pitch to Riney Walters. And he's lined that through the gap between third and short. And Walters delivers an RBI single. Coming in the score is McVeigh. And it's the second hit of the night for Riney Walters. And he gives the New York back their 3-run lead. It's 5-2. That brings up Art Allison. He's 1 for 3 so far today. Here's the first pitch. That's a ball. And it's going to be a pass ball. Walters goes to second. Here's the 1-0. That's high 2-0. And this also goes to the backstop again. Another pass ball. And Walters now has gotten third base for free. Back-to-back pass balls, and Walters has taken third base for free. Here's the 2-0. That is a called strike, 2-1. Here's the 2-1 pitch. Swung on, that's popped up. Into the screens. Count goes 2-2. Here's the 2-2 pitch. Grounded foul. Here's the 2-2. Popped up in the infield right to the third baseman who makes the play, and the inning is over. 1 run on 1 hit, and they leave 1 aboard. We go to, it is 7th inning stretch time here in Chicago. 5-2 New York. We are going to leave you. We always do this. It's time. We're going to step away, stretch the legs. We suggest you do too. It's time for a rendition of Take Me Out to the Ball Game. Here is Harrison Scheckler with a virtual choir of Take Me Out to the Ball Game. Enjoy. Thank you, Cully, for being in here, man. Thank you, man. Have a wonderful rest of your night, my man. Thank you for joining us tonight, Cully. I appreciate you, brother. Nice stream today as well, man. Get some good rest, man. Um, right, what's going on? Just walk in and I hear this. Listen, it's the seventh inning stretch here in Chicago. 2 hour, 1 minute game time so far in the game. The visiting New York Mutuals have a 5-2 lead. We're going to get right back into it. It is the bottom of the seventh. Cherokee Fisher is going to be the first man up. The pitcher. And the legendary Mike with thank you, Pat. I hope you're doing well, man. Good morning to you. Good morning, my man. Right. Here's the first pitch to Cherokee Fisher. And he has absolutely crushed this into center field, but the center fielder does not have to move much. And he will make the out. So F8 to start this bottom of the seventh. And here is George Bechtel coming in. He is 1 for 3 with a single. He was also caught stealing. Yeah, going to head up in a bit for coffee. Nice. We don't have much left here, by the way. We're in the seventh already. So here's the first pitch to Bechtel. That is lined into right center field. That's going to drop. That's going to be extra bases as well. Bechtel with a great hit, and he is into second base with a double here for Chicago. They're trying to lead a charge back here. 1 out and a runner in scoring position now for Bill Kelly, who was 1 for 3 with an RBI single. Here's the first pitch. Inside 1-0, the throw over to third, and he's safe at third. That is a huge base to steal. And George Bechtel gets the third base. Only 1 out. Here's the 1-0. That's a called strike, and it's 1-1. Here's the 1-1 pitch. That's popped up in the infield. First baseman's there. He'll make the play. And that is the second out of the inning. That does not help George Bechtel's situation over at third base. 2 outs now here. Bottom seventh. Chicago trailing by 3. Levy Mayerly will be up to the plate. He is 0 for 3 today. Here is the first pitch. He's popped it up in the infield. Shortstop's there. He makes the play, or second baseman's there. He makes the play, and that retires the side. No runs, 1 hit, 1 left on base. We go to the top of the 8th. The New York Mutuals are leading by a score of 5-2. Charlie Pabor will be due up first for the Mutuals. He is 0 for 3 so far today. We are going to take a 90-second timeout. We'll be back with more in just 90 seconds time. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back. This 8th inning brought to you by Papas Fritas with Ranch. She's a great streamer. Call of Duty Black Ops 6, Hypercharge Overdrive, another Crab's Treasure. She's pretty hilarious. Give her a follow if you're not already. Ignore this visual tearing that these clips seem to have tonight with scene.gg, but give her a follow if you're not already. Papas Fritas with Ranch. Her streams her streams are off the chain. They're fucking hilarious, by the way. So right into the 8th inning. Here we go. Charlie Babor up to the plate. Here's the first pitch. That's grounded right over to short. Oh, it's an error. And the shortstop makes an error. It's the third error for Chicago on the night. It's the third error for shortstop Charlie Hodes on the night. He's having a Weston Supermare. And we've got New York's got a runner aboard here with nobody out. That brings up Pete Donnelly, he is 2 for 3 so far today. A pair of singles. Here's the first pitch to him. That is a ball, 1-0. Here's the 1-0 pitch. And that is taken for a ball, 2-0. The 2-0 pitch. That's taken for a called strike on the inside part of the plate. And it's 2-1. Here's the 2-1 pitch. And that's off the catcher. It's a wild pitch this time. It was way on the outside. And Pabor will go to second for free. And now it's a runner in scoring position with nobody out. 3-1 to count to Pete Donnelly. Here's the pitch. He's grounded over towards second baseman. On to first in time for the first out of the inning. 4-3 on the put. That does move Charlie Pabor over to third. And that'll bring up first baseman George Ewell. 120 pitches so far for Cherokee Fisher. Here's the pitch to George Ewell here to start this at bat. He's lined it into center field. Is he going to drop for a base hit? No, the center fielder's there. He makes the grab. And that's the second out of the inning. That brings up Mike McGeary. He is 3 for 4 today with 3 singles. Here's the first pitch. He's lined it into right field, and it drifts foul. Here's the 0-1 pitch. Taken off the plate inside. Ball 1. Here's the 1-1. That's taken, I don't know where that missed. Maybe below the knees. It's a ball, 2-1. Here's the 2-1 pitch. Inside, ball 3. And now McGeary has a hitter's count here. Here's the 3-1 pitch. He swung on, he popped it up in the infield. Second baseman, first baseman will make the play, and that will retire the side. No runs, no hits. They leave one aboard. We go to the bottom of the 8th. It is 5-2 New York. Due up first for the Chicago White Stockings, right fielder Gat Stiers, who's 2 for 3 with a pair of singles and a stolen base. Here's the first pitch to him from Righty Walters. He's popped it up. And the infield. Third baseman comes over. He makes the grab. I was able to start doing pull-ups since I dislocated my shoulder. I'm glad I don't need surgery so far. Let's go, Deco. That's great news. I'm glad to hear that, man. How's it feel? Does it feel like it's getting better? That brings up catcher Mark King. He is 1 for 3 so far today. You got it, Tubby. We'll do that after the game's conclusion. This one fouled off the first pitch. 100th pitch for Riney Walters here. That is grounded over towards second, and he's made an error. It's an E4, the second baseman, Mike McGarry with the error. It's the, this says, oh, who made the other error? Hold on. Oh, that's his second error of the afternoon. And so Mark King will be aboard. That'll bring up Everett Mills, the first baseman. Mills currently 1 for 3. Here's the first pitch. And that is inside for a ball. 1-0. Here's the 1-0. Swung on and missed. And it's 1-1. Who's the pitcher for Rockford? I don't know. That's a good question. We'll look at that after the game. I don't know if Ward is in the game yet. Joe Ward Velocity. I don't know if Ward is in the game yet, man. We'll have to look. Full send, nice. The guy sent you a screenshot of? Okay. Right. Here's the 1-1. That's taken off the plate away. 2-1. I'll get him after the game, obviously, right? Here's the 2-1. Inside ball 3. 3-1. 3-1 count to Everett Mills. Here's the pitch. He's great. He's popped that right back to the pitcher. He's lined it right back to the pitcher. And that is the second out of the inning. Right, that brings up Charlie Hodes. He is 1 for 3 so far today with a single. Here's the first pitch. Okay, gotcha. Some guy just ran onto the field. Hold on, time is called. Some nullskull sans clothing is out on the field. Ouch, down he goes. The first base umpire leveled him with a forearm shiver. Members of the stadium security have surrounded the man and will now escort him off the field. Time to get back to baseball. Streakers in 1871. It looks like that's an odd time-honored tradition as well. Right, the pitch was a ball. I love that. I love that too. Here's the ground ball to the second baseman. On to first. That's in time. That'll be the inning. No runs on no hits. They leave one aboard. We go to the top of the 9th. 5-2 New York. We need at least one of those this playoffs. There you go. All right, hold on. Let me see who you sent me, by the way. Right. Now, my only problem, Tubby, is that it does say in your save there that he comes into the league in 1878, and we're in 1871, so he would not be in the league yet. So if he's not in the league, I'll refund you the points, but or you can pick somebody else. But I don't think John Ward is in the league yet. So right, top nine. This ninth inning brought to you by Pat Wentz. He's currently busy making coffee, but he's a great streamer. He does F1 Manager, he does Apex Legends, he does Football Manager, where he's managed to really do well to turn around a Man United team there. So if you're not already following him, give him a follow. The great Pat Wentz. What is PAPIP? What is PA? What is PAP? What is POPIP? I have no problem doing that. I just don't know what that is. Right. Let's get into the ninth. Due up first for New York is Steve Bellin. He is 1 for 4. Here's the pitch. That's a called strike. 0-1. Pitcher BABIP. What is BABIP? Batting average on balls in play. Fucking hell. Got it. We'll take a look at that after. I might need your help with that. But we'll take care of it. Here's the 0-1. That's off the plate away, 1-1. Here's the 1-1 pitch. Swung on, grounded, foul down the first base side. And it's 1-2. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Swung on, that's just gone foul. The 1-2. That's lined into left center field. The center fielder comes over. He slides. He can't make the play. And this is going to be extra bases. Sliding into second base is Steve Bellin, and he gets his second hit of the afternoon. Right, that brings up Cal McVeigh. 1-for-4 with a single and a stolen base. There's the first pitch to him. Taking that for a strike. Going to second is Bellin, and he's thrown out. I'm just going to third is Bellin. He's thrown out at third. One down here in the ninth. Here's the 0-1. That's inside. Ball 1. Here's the 1-1. Swung on, lined into the gap. Just over the second baseman's head. It's in fielding error as well. And it'll be a single for Cal McVeigh. And an E8 as well. Center fielder Bill Kelly making the error. And now both teams with 4. That's going to bring up Henry Burroughs. He's 0 for 4 today. And that is a ball, 1-0. Yeah, I don't until ABS comes in, I don't think you're going to get that, Deco. Here's the 1-0. Swung, that's popped up in the infield. Shortstop coming in for him. He will make the play. Damn. Hold on. I'm fixing a mistake on the card. That's the second out of the inning. That brings up Randy Walters, the pitcher. He is 2 for 3 with a single, a triple, a walk, and an RBI. Thank you so much. Just got back. Need to make coffee. Nice. You're welcome, Pat. Thank you for sponsoring the 9th inning. Right, here's the first pitch to Randy Walters. He swung on and missed. It's 0-1. Right, here's the 0-1 pitch. Inside, ball 1. The 1-1 pitch. That's below the knees. Ball 2. And it's 2-1. Paul Skeens, Pittsburgh Pirates. Maybe I heard reports the Yankees want him. Oh, I fucking hope not. 9th inning Glaze brought to you by... Nice, Pat. Here's the 2-1. That's taken away, ball 3. The 3-1 pitch. Swung on, lined right at the shortstop, and that is going to end the inning. No runs on 2 hits. They leave 1 aboard. We go to the bottom of the 9th. New York lead it by a score of 5-2. Colombian. I'm not big on pumpkin spice. I might be white as a motherfucker, man, but I don't like pumpkin spice. I know that. Believe it or not. Right. That brings up Sam Jackson, the second baseman. He'll lead off here for the Chicago White Stockings. Bottom 9th. They need 3 runs to force extras. Here's the first pitch. That's a call. Strike, 0-1. BRB need to restart. You got it. Man, after a few months of not updating, I need to update Windows again. Yep. Yep. Here's the 0-1. That's lined into center field. Center fielder coming forward. He'll make the grab. That's the first out of the inning. That's going to bring up Cherokee Fisher, the pitcher. He's batting 1 for 3 so far today with a single. Here's the first pitch. That is, he said he swung, and that's a called strike. It's 0-1. Here's the 0-1. Called strike 2 on the outside part of the plate. And Cherokee Fisher is in a hole here, 0-2. Here's the pitch. Off the plate, away and low, 1-2. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Grounded over the short. He dives on it. Oh, the throw over to first is a bad throw. And Cherokee Fisher is aboard on an E6. Thank you for the follow, History Rebel. Welcome to the stream, my friend. Pat. that's a little warm, but yeah. Honestly, Skeens needs to stay in Pittsburgh. Pirates haven't kept any player. Give away Hayes to the Reds. Yeah, I have no confidence in that ownership in Pittsburgh to do anything like rebuild around him. But Pat, you can give it to me in Celsius though. But I appreciate you putting it in Fahrenheit for the rest of the viewers that might be here from the U.S. for the baseball. 84 for those that use centigrades. It's like 28, right? It's about 28. I want to say. That sounds about right. 28, 29. Right. Here's the first pitch to George Betchel, who is 2 for 4 so far today, single and a double. He's popped it up. First baseman's over there. He's going to make the play, and that is the second out of the inning. P3 on the put. And now Chicago White Stockings down to their final out. Bill Kelly is going to come to the plate. He's 1 for 4 with an RBI single. First pitch to Kelly. He's grounded it over towards the second baseman, on to first in time, and that's the ball game. 4-3 on the final put. No runs, no hits. They leave one aboard in the bottom of the ninth. And this one is over. The New York Mutuals have come into Chicago White Stockings territory, and they've walked away with a big 5-2 win. Both these teams were tied at the top of the National League coming into the game, and now New York has taken a big step towards maintaining the lead at the top of the National League. The Mutuals win by a final score of 5-2. We're going to do the individual stats. We got to figure out I've got the score sheet. We're going to figure out all the stats. So bear with. Here's your final box score totals for this game. Mike McGeary for the New York Mutuals finished with 3 hits on his 5 at-bats. He scored 3 runs in the process. He made 2 fielding errors as well. All of them were singles, by the way. Steve Bellin, he finished with 2 hits in his 3 at-bats. He had 2 sacrifice bunts. He also had an RBI. He was also caught stealing. Cal McVeigh, he finished with 2 hits in his 5 at-bats, and he stole a base and scored a run as well. Henry Burroughs finished with 5 at-bats. He did not record a hit. He also had a fielding error. Riney Walters, he had 4 at-bats. He finished with 2 hits, one of which was a triple. He also drew a base on balls. He also recorded an RBI. Art Allison, he finished with 4 at-bats. He had 1 hit in those 4 at-bats. It was a double. Charlie Pabor had 4 at-bats. He did not record a hit. By the way, Art Allison also had a fielding error. Pete Donnelly had 4 at-bats. He recorded 2 hits, both singles. He recorded 1 run. And then George Ewell recorded 4 at-bats. He did not have a hit in this game. Lake effect snow and wind chill is no joke. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Illinois. I used to know somebody who went to the Navy, and the training for the Navy is out there in Illinois. I can't remember exactly what it's called, but I know it's in Illinois. And he said, "Holy shit, man! That winter training is brutal." All right, total at bats for the New York Mutuals: 5 and 3 is 8, and 5 is 13, and 5 is 18, and 4 is 22, and 4 is 26, and 4 is 30, and 4 is 34, and 4 is 38 at bats. Total runs for the New York Mutuals, obviously 5. Hits, I have 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I think this has 12. So where did I go wrong? Is the question. I have, oh, yeah, 2 hits for him, yeah. He had a base on balls. He had 2 hits. He had 1 hit. He didn't have a hit. He had 2 hits, and he didn't. I don't know. Did I miscalculate? Oh, you know what? I forgot to throw in the 2 hits for Ronnie Walters here. And then that is 0, 0, 0, 0, 0. Right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Yep, there it is. I put it in the wrong column. I put it under doubles, and they weren't doubles. They were hits. That's why. Screwed me all. Right, they had 2 RBIs in the game as well. They had 1 double, 1 triple, 1 base on balls. They made 1, 2, 3, 4 fielding errors. No strikeouts, and they also stole 1 base. And they made 2 sacrifice bunts. There you go. Isn't it funny that they're called the Chicago White Stockings and they become the Cubs? You would think the Chicago White Sox were the White Stock. You know what I mean? Like, you would think that would have been the progression. If you didn't know any better, obviously, right? Right. Here's your box scores for the Chicago White Stockings, right? George Betchel had 5 at bats. He recorded 2 hits in those at bats. One of them was a double. He was caught stealing. He had a stolen base, and that's it. Bill Kelly had 5 at bats. He recorded 1 hit in that at bat. It was an RBI. He also made a fielding error. Levy Mayerly had 4 at bats. He did not record a single hit. Gat Stiers had 4 at bats. He recorded 2 hits. He stole a base. He scored a run as well. Mart King had 4 at bats. He recorded 1 hit. Everett Mills had 4 at bats. He recorded 1 hit. Oh, that's a terrible one. That is a terrible. I drew that one horribly. Okay. Charlie Hodes had 4 at bats. He recorded 1 hit. He made 3 fielding errors. Sam Jackson had 4 at bats. He did not record a hit. And then Cherokee Fisher had 4 at bats. He recorded 1 hit, and he recorded a run as well. So total at bats for the New York Mutuals: 5, 10, 14, 18, 22, 26, 30, 34, 38 at bats. So they both had an equal number of at bats in this game. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I have 9 hits for New York. That is correct. They scored 2 runs. They had 1 double. They had 1 RBI. They stole 1 base. And they made 4 fielding errors as well. And that is what we have. Right, on to the pitchers very quickly, and then we will wrap things up. Ronnie Walters will get credited with the win. He moves to 4-2 on the season. He pitched all 9 innings. I have his pitch count of 115. That's correct. He recorded no base on balls, no strikeouts. He recorded 9 hits. He was responsible. He had 2 runs. He was responsible for 1 of them. Then Cherokee Fisher gets the loss. He goes to 2-2 on the season. He also pitched 9 innings. I have his pitch count at 141. That's correct. Yep. He walked 1, and he struck out none. He gave up 12 hits. The runs, he gave up 5. Only 1 of them was earned. And there you go. So let's flip the page over because we're going to get ready to write the next Game down. The other game was the Troy Haymakers, who walked it off in the ninth inning against the Fort Wayne Kekiungas. Fort Wayne started extremely hot. I think they were 4-1. They are now slipped to 5-5. Troy started 1-4, I want to say, and they've recovered since to 3-6. So we're gonna finish today, and the next game will be probably the New York Mutuals at the Fort Wayne Kekiungas. We've done 2 Chicago White Stockings games in a row. I don't want to do a third one. So we're going to do Fort Wayne, New York Mutuals at Fort Wayne Kekiungas is next. I will let chat pick at the end of this game. Next time we stream OOTP, I will run a poll and let chat pick, which actually I think we're playing here, no? No, we're not. So I will let chat pick whichever one they want out of these 3. But very quickly, let's check the standings. Let's do those adjustments, and then we'll wrap it up with our thank yous. Right, we slipped to the bottom of the. We're like the worst team in the entire Major League Baseball. Yeah, the team I am the general manager of is the worst team in baseball. At 2-6. Troy Haymakers now 3-6. The New York Mutuals jump out a game ahead of everybody else, because Fort Wayne lost as well. So New York are now the top team in the National League by a game. The Boston Red Stockings in the American League are a game and a half in front of the Philadelphia Athletics. So I just noticed it's 1871. Yeah, it's in the title, Pat. But yeah. So there you have it. So our next game, New York Mutuals Fort Wayne, and then my bad, great, that's all good. And then we got another one on the 28th, and then we play on the 29th against Cleveland, and then there's no game on the 30th, so or the 31st. So we got 3 streams left in May, and then we're into the middle part of the season, which is June. Remember, April and May, beginning of the season or early season. June and July, mid-season. August and September, late season. So we move in from early season to mid-season in just 3 more streams. But there you go. Right. Can we expedite this season? I don't want to do that for 1871, no. But mainly because it's only 32 games anyway. And some teams have already played 10. So we're at the third way pole. I hate being a pain. I get that. But I'm going to say no. We will expedite future seasons because more games come into this. I started this project because I wanted to do this, and I wanted to do it this way. And I started the YouTube series like that and everything else. So I want to see 1871 through. And then we'll go on to 1872, and we'll think about how we want to, maybe a game a week, like special game of the week or something like that. But, yeah, I would like to keep doing this for the 1871 season. Right. I've got to find players, right? You guys, let me get the reward team, the rewards redeems up. No, not really. Let me see. Cap Anson home run power. I believe I have Cap Anson. I believe yeah, he is. Cap Anson is at Rockford. So you want home run power. So we're gonna go into the editor. You want home run power. So power right here, right? So view rating. So power goes 82. This goes up to 77. This goes up to 492. And there you go. So his rating on power just went from 77 to 78. So there you go. Cap Anson's power is done. And then John Ward. I do not think he's in this game. He is not in the game yet. Players found matching Ward. So unless you want, I'm going to give you your points back. So there you go. And then Dick McBride is the other one that you guys wanted. Is he actually my pitcher as well? Oh, I'm still on Cap Anson. Hold on. Player list. Dick McBride. There he is. Editor. And what did you want? PIP. Now, where is that? Pitching P. Okay. So you want this up to 127. Is that correct? Yeah, you want it to go up to 127. I don't know any other pitchers. It's all good. It's all good. So there you go. PABIP went up to 127. Is there a way to view all the players? Is there like a way to just view the entire reports and infos, power rankings, positional rankings maybe? Here are all the players that we have in this season. Henry Kohler, Bub McAtee, Tom Carey, Joe Batten, Warren White, Andy Leonard. Like that. Here's all the players that we currently have in this season. In this season in 1871. So there's my boy, Count Sensendorfer. He's at Fort Wayne. We're gonna watch him next. But yeah, here they all are. So we're almost in June, halfway there, a third of the way there. I'd say. But right, there you go. Right. Like I said, we're teams. Some teams, yes, some teams have only played a few games. Like Chicago, that's only their 4th game. But some have played 9. Fort Wayne have played 10. So we're getting there. Right. Big thank you to History Rebel, IT Bit, and was it hold on. Was it unknowns, or was it, what was his name? Who knows not, for the follow. For the follows. Thank you to Anko Lee for the unofficial raid. I wrote it down as a raid. Because I had you tabbed and I saw what you put in the chat. So I thank you very much for being here. We are back tomorrow with Peak. We're playing Peak tomorrow, by the way. For those on YouTube, this is the end of the recording. Thank you for watching. We'll see you for the next one. Till then, take care.